resource is what we were talking about, right?
Mhm.
And I love stories. I know people listening like stories too. Kind of describe what you mean when you say that I want to be a resource for other people.
Well, eh, we've had many closings, obviously, and most closings go without an issue. Some go with issues, and to find those issues, sometimes you don't have to look very far. They find you, and how you react to those is kind of the key of being successful at the closing table. Um, I had a seller in from Lake County come in, and we were ready to do a closing. We had a court ordered closing. Basically, what that meant is that the court decided who was going to get the property and who was going to be able to sell the property.
Divorce type thing, I'm
And
thinking.
no, actually, it wasn't.
Ah.
You could call it a divorce, but it was more of a business divorce.
Okay. Okay.
Two businessmen decided that they were going to part. They owned a large parcel of land, $2+ million parcel of land. The court decided that this gentleman would get to sell it because the other gentleman owed money. And we got down to the closing table. And even though we had a court order to close, I can't force people to sign documents. The gentleman refused to sign. He wanted to have additional amount of money involved at the closing. When the court said, no, you can't have any more money. Well, we started that at about 10 o'clock in the morning. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm a little frustrated because we still haven't closed. How do we solve this issue was all I cared about.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat down with the realtors. I sat down with the other people. I began to call one of my attorney friends that helps us an awful lot with the commercial closings with advice. I don't like to give advice. I'm not an attorney. I am a title agent, but I don't want to give advice to individuals. I had the attorney draw up some documents and say, okay, look, if we agree to give you X amount of dollars, which I felt was not necessary, but in order to get the closing done, we got those documents drawn up. We got the documents delivered here. We brought them to the closing table. By 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, we closed. Now, you're talking about an entire day it took for us to make this happen. A lot of title companies would push you out the door, and I don't want to talk about any specific one, but they've got other business to do.
Yeah, you guys get it right. When you get it right, come back.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfectly. And what we decided to do was have somebody, which would be me, stay with these two, figure out the best way to do it, find a mediator, which ended up being me, to make it happen. Now, I wasn't the person that made it happen. I was the person that found the people to make it happen.
Your quarterback in the whole thing.
Yep, that's probably a good analogy. And that is what is key, is that I don't necessarily have to know everything. All I need to do is find the people that do know. And that is a good job for a title company. It doesn't just mean that I'm going to do a closing for you. I'm going to find the people that fix the problems that you may or may not have.
That's the resource I'm talking about. As we wrap it up, though, I know you're big in technology. You're big on the back end stuff, and you're always thinking of something new to do. What are some of the technologies that you have inputted into your website that either lenders can use, real estate professionals can use? I know you have a couple things. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but walk me through some of what those present things are, and possibly what Venture Title's doing in the future to add things as being resources for realtors or and beyond.
Okay. Currently, we have a online system that you can connect to via your phone, the computer itself, the PC, or tablet, whatever means you have, to be able to do a title quote, a buyers, sellers, net sheets. You can actually do your own Alta forms if you want to. I don't recommend it, but they're there.
Yeah.
You can do this on the fly. Title companies are not open 24/7. Realtors sometimes work 24/7, especially the good ones.
The good ones. I was going to say, yeah.
And the same thing with the lenders. And they may need a title quote. A lot of the software and stuff out there for the lenders, and even for some of the realty companies, they're pretty good software out there for them too, can calculate a lot of this stuff, but they're not positive on the fees and things like that. And that could be a critical thing. So we provide a free service online that you can link to and become a member of. All I ask is you provide me an email address so I know who you are, and a name, and then you're free to use it and to calculate any of that stuff. That's one of the current products that we have now. As far as future products, what we're trying to do is individually promote realtors and lenders. You can go online all day long and look, and you're going to find Mr. Realty Company and Mr. Lender, but you're not going to find Bob the lender, or Bob the realtor, or Mary the lender, or Mary the realtor. It just, the searches right now, the way people have put themselves out there is not available. So what we're working on is trying to find a way to promote the individual. Because if I'm looking for a home, I'm not just going to call Keller Williams, for lack of better terms.
Yeah, give me one of your realtors. You got one?
I'm not going to just call out just a realty company. I'm going to call a realtor. I'm going to call somebody that I know in Seminole or Orange County, or if you want to break it down even further, in Lake Mary.
Right.
And I'm going to call that person is who I want to call.
Yeah, I don't want a realtor based in Kissimmee buying me a house in Lake Mary.
If I don't know one in Lake Mary, how do I find them? So if you go online and you look up a Lake Mary realtor, you're not going to find an individual. You're going to find companies.
Those big brokerage firms.
And that's what we're trying to recommend our lenders and realtors now moving forward is let's promote you. Okay. I understand that when you work for a company, they want you to promote the company as well, but you can do both. So let's find a way to do that, because it's very difficult. For example, when someone's looking for a title company, unless they're a for sale by owner or they're a house flipper, they're not going to be looking up title companies. As we talked about before,
right?
Realtors are who refer us, okay, unless it's a refinance, and then it's the lender. If an individual is looking for a title company, like I said, it's going to be a for sale by owner, okay? It's going to be a lender out of state trying to find a title company local so that person can come into an office and actually sign.
So you're close, right?
So they may look up stuff. So we've been kind of testing the idea of promoting individuals by promoting venture title in certain areas. And when we promote venture title in certain areas, we've been getting phone calls from the for sale by owner people, from those lenders that are out of state looking for someone local.
They still got to close.
Absolutely. So we're trying real hard to help our people out there. That's kind of what I've got to do. I've got to get out there more, sit down with my lenders, sit down with my realtors, and find a way to help them.
Man, you are certainly a resource. Well, the last question we ask everyone that comes on the State of Real Estate, and an opinion I'm really interested in hearing from you, being that you've been in the business for such a long time on a title end, you know realtors, you know lenders. There's probably, is there anyone you don't know in the business in Central Florida?
I'm sure there is.
Maybe those that started yesterday, maybe. But I'm sure you know most of them. But what we like to ask anyone that comes on the show, right, is how do you see the state of real estate today?
Well, I think we're in pretty good hands. I think that the economy's growing. Real estate, as far as homes, are moving up slowly, not rapidly. Depends kind of in the area that you're in. But I think we're in good hands. One thing technology's done over the last few years is grown even more and made it a little more simple for people to take a look at a home. It used to be we all got in the realtor's car, we all got in the realtor's van, and we drove around and we took a day to look at homes. I think technology's made that a little bit easier. And I think these kids that are coming up behind us are a little bit smarter than we were. So I think the state of real estate is really good. I mean, these young guns are just, they flat out know what they're doing with these devices, and they know how to use them. I may have a very good technical background, but these young guns out there are just tearing me up sometimes. So I like to make sure I use them as resources as well. But the future of real estate lies still in the individuals that are going to be out there doing it. Both integrity and the ability to make sure that the customer has a good experience, that still needs to be there. Technology can only do so much. we as individuals need to make sure, and while we're in this industry, that we take care of the people that are taking care of us, because ultimately they're making our paycheck.
Oh man, that way to end it, and that possibly will keep you survived if maybe the state of real estate doesn't work out so well, right? I mean, that's how you live through the 2008 is taking care of other people.
Absolutely.
Mike, I enjoy it, man. Tell everybody the website where they can find you. Certainly follow you on Facebook. All the call tos.
Well, the website is www.rest1.com.
And what's the rest for?
It stands for Real Estate Services and Title. We like to think that we do all of it to help everyone. One, because we felt like we were number one.
Yeah.
So
rest1.com.
Rest One. It's pretty much, you rest, we do the rest. That's kind of the thought was behind that at the very beginning. It's been around a long time.
Like it.
Facebook. Let's see.
Venture Title.
Yeah, Venture Title. It's pretty simple.
Instagram, Venture Title.
Yeah, the same thing.
What about the link to use the online, the forms and things you provide with the email?
It's real simple. Go to rest1.com and look for instant estimates. It'll take you to it automatically. Don't want to have a big long URL for you to remember. Once you get there, it'll ask you to log in one time, and then you can just bookmark it.
Wonderful. So rest1.com is the website. Go there and find was it instant quotes you said?
Instant quotes you can get for both title quotes, buyer, seller estimates as well. But again, anytime you have a question, just give us a call.
Yeah, reach out. I know you're quite helpful. I've heard a lot of stories in industries I've been around about how people have reached out to you. You're helping. I've heard you help other title companies with questions. I've heard you do that.
Look, there's enough business out there for all of us. I mean, if we can help each other survive, I mean, I couldn't do all the business even if I had it all. So, I mean, that's part of it. Make sure that we help all that are involved.
Yeah, it sounds like the kind of person I'd come to if I was a realtor for sure, to bring my closings with. And I actually, on a side note, you have quite a special closer at your tables. I hear. Yeah,
we do. We have a company that comes and helps us throughout the state of Florida, throughout the nation. Notaries Plus. It's an awesome company. Patricia May, who has been a crucial person in my business this year. I've had an obstacle that I had to overcome this last year, and they've just been a tremendous help for us as a company. And I couldn't thank them more. But it's just, once again, it's part of that community coming together to help one another, and that's what we have to do in this industry. I mean, that's the way this industry survives.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, Mike. Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for sponsoring the State of Real Estate show, too.
My pleasure.
Appreciate all that, helping us stay alive, too, and so many others out there. Random question. How many homes in your entire life do you think you've closed on for people?
Oh, goodness. I'm not sure I can do that without taking my shoes off, but I would say more than thousands.
So what, tens of thousands?
I would assume so. I mean, I've never been asked that question, but next time I'm asked that question, I will have a number somewhat close.
I mean, just think about how many happy people have walked out of your offices over the years that have either bought their first home, their other home, or sold the home they wanted to. That possibly easily could be tens of thousands of people.
It could be. I mean, it very well could be. And don't get me wrong. There's been some struggles at this table. Been struggles, but that's the part of getting through the struggles and finding the answers. And that's where you need a quality title agent out there. And there are some others out there. In my years of being in this industry and working with other title companies prior to opening my own, I know there's good people out there. And we just all need to continue to support that group as well.
Beautifully said. Thanks again for joining me, man. All of you watching live on Venture Title's page here, make sure you go to rest1.com. If you're a real estate agent, I promise you will find no better place. All the way from Satellite Beach, all the way up to Lake Mary, Sanford, you pick it somewhere in Central Florida. I know Venture Title can be there for you. Again, rest1.com. Check it out. Thanks again, Mike, for being a part of the show.